Some gifts can be bought with money, but there were also gifts made with time, sweat, and a father's love. That day, while walking with Dad, I was captivated by the small electric scooters of the neighborhood kids. Seeing me cry, Dad hugged me. From that day on, I saw Dad sitting deep in thought, showing me pictures of scooters and gazing intently at pieces of wood and iron bars. I knew he was nurturing something. And so, our journey began to build a wooden car that could actually run. My father could not only focus on making it look beautiful on the outside. The first important part was the frame. After the frame was ready, my father began installing the wheels, axles, and steering system. This was a very difficult part because even a small mistake could make the car unable to run straight, cause the wheels to be misaligned, or make the steering unstable. After the frame was ready, my father began installing the wheels, axles, and steering system. This was a very difficult part because even a small mistake could make the car unable to run straight, cause the wheels to be misaligned, or make the steering unstable. He had to measure again and again, adjust every small angle, test the wheels, test the steering, and then take things apart to fix them again. I remember there were times when my father finished the part, but he still was not satisfied. My father told me in handmade work, being slow is not the problem. The really problem is accepting a result that is not good enough. The way my dad made those wooden wheels was amazing. Once the frame and wheels were in place, he started shaping the car body. From rough wooden boards, he cut them into small pieces and joined them together following the shape of the car. Every curve had to be carefully calculated. Because wood is not soft, like it is not easy to bend like plastic. To create a beautiful car shape, my father had to scut, sand, and feel every detail with both his eyes and his hands. Dad started attaching the rough, lifeless blocks of wood to the floor of the vehicle. I stood right next to him, sometimes not understanding what he was doing, but I could see his meticulousness and patience in every action. There were days when the workshop was filled with wood dust. The sounds of power saws and hand saws echoed from morning till night. Standing beside my father and watching him work, I felt that every cut he made was filled with patience. Every detail he completed carried his love for me. When the shape of the car gradually appeared, my father began the sanding process. This part may seem simple, but it took a lot of time. He had to sand every surface and every edge, so the car would not only look beautiful from far away, but also feel smooth to the touch. Dad didn't give up because one detail was wrong. Dad didn't stop because the work took too long. Dad didn't choose the easiest way. He chose the best way he could. Hey. After styling the car, Dad started assembling the small parts from the door handles, gear lever, and windshield. My dad installed the car mirrors and made a wooden steering wheel. It was tiny compared to a real car, but I understood that these lovely little details were meant for my small hands. Sometimes he examined iron bars, wheels, screws, and tools as if he were solving an impossible puzzle. At that time, I didn't understand what he was planning. But today, I know that was the day a beautiful dream quietly began. Not the dream of owning a toy, but the dream of building one with his own hands. A dream built entirely from love. Our journey started with the foundation. Before a car can look beautiful, it has to be strong. My father began by designing the frame. Every measurement mattered. Every angle had to be accurate. He wasn't simply connecting wooden pieces together. He was creating the backbone of a real vehicle. Hours turned into days. The workshop slowly transformed into a place filled with determination. The smell of freshly cut wood filled the air. The sound of saws echoed from morning until night. Piece by piece, the frame slowly came to life. Once the structure was complete, the next challenge arrived. The wheels, the axles, the steering system. This wasn't decoration. This was engineering. Even the smallest mistake could prevent the car from moving properly. If one wheel was slightly higher, the car would lean. If the steering angle was wrong, the vehicle would never drive straight. My father measured, adjusted, tested, removed parts, rebuilt them, then tested everything again. Sometimes he completed an entire section, only to take it apart because he wasn't satisfied. Watching him work taught me something I would never forget. He once smiled and said, "Being slow is never the problem. The real problem is accepting work that isn't good enough." Those words stayed with me forever. One of the most incredible parts was watching him build the wooden wheels. Most people would simply buy them. My father created them himself. Each circle had to be perfectly balanced. Every edge had to be smooth. Every rotation had to feel natural. It wasn't easy, but giving up was never an option. After the mechanical parts were finished, it was finally time to shape the body. Large wooden boards slowly became something extraordinary. Every panel was carefully measured, cut, trimmed, and joined together. Unlike plastic or metal, wood doesn't bend easily. Creating elegant curves required patience. Mistakes couldn't simply be hidden. Every line had to be carefully crafted. Every surface had to flow naturally into the next. I stood beside him almost every day. Sometimes I didn't understand what he was doing, but I could clearly see one thing: his patience, his attention to detail, his love. Every cut carried purpose. Every movement reflected care. Every hour represented another silent expression of a father's heart. Days passed. The workshop became covered in fine wood dust. The sounds of machines became our daily soundtrack. Morning after morning, night after night, my father continued working. Without complaints, without shortcuts, without losing hope. Slowly, a car began to appear. Not just pieces of wood, not just an idea, a real vehicle, a dream taking shape. A child would touch every surface, hold every handle, lean against every door. Nothing could be rough. Nothing could be uncomfortable. For days, he sanded, checked, sanded again, until every piece felt perfect beneath his hands. Watching him taught me another lesson. Great work isn't created through speed. It is created through care. He never chose the easiest path. He always chose the best one he could create. As the body became complete, my favorite stage finally arrived. The details. Tiny door handles, working doors, small hinges, a handmade gear lever, a windshield, beautiful side mirrors, and finally, a wooden steering wheel designed perfectly for my little hands. Each detail seemed small, but together, they gave the car its personality, its character, its soul. One afternoon, my father built a large wooden storage box at the back of the vehicle. Curious, I asked him, "What is that for?" He simply smiled. "Later," he replied, "that's going to become your favorite part." I didn't understand, but seeing the excitement in his eyes made me even more curious. The wheels still needed one final touch: the rims. My father always said, "The rims are like shoes for a car. People notice them immediately." So he carved every pattern carefully, painted every detail by hand, then gently mounted each rim onto the wheels. Suddenly, the entire vehicle looked alive, elegant, complete, professional. One day, I asked another question. "Dad, where are we going to sit?" He laughed, then quietly picked up more pieces of wood, measured them, cut them, joined them together, and before long, beautiful handmade seats appeared. Simple, comfortable, perfectly sized for me. Then came painting. Layer after layer, the wood received protection from rain, sun, time, and insects. The natural grain remained visible, giving the car warmth that no factory machine could ever create. At this point, only the finishing touches remained. Floor mats, dashboard, lights, logo, seats. Every component found its place, every screw tightened with care, every detail completed with pride. Then, the moment finally arrived. The lights turned on, the steering wheel worked, the wheels moved. The handmade wooden car rolled forward for the very first time. I climbed inside, held the steering wheel, and for a few seconds, I couldn't speak. I wasn't looking at a toy. I was looking at months of sacrifice, countless late nights, thousands of careful decisions, hundreds of hours of hard work, all created just to make one little boy smile. To many people, it may simply look like a wooden car, but to me, it represents something much greater. It is proof that passion can overcome limitations, that patience creates excellence, that love gives ordinary materials extraordinary meaning. My father didn't simply build a vehicle. He built memories. He built confidence. He built inspiration. Most importantly, he taught me that extraordinary things always begin with ordinary steps. A single idea, a single piece of wood, a single decision not to quit. Today, whenever I remember this journey, I don't think about the finished car first. I remember the sawdust, the quiet evenings, the careful measurements, the determination in my father's eyes, and the smile on his face every time another piece fit perfectly into place.